Chanting Hare Krishna, an essential subject from Vinipedia in this age. To develop godly qualities is very difficult. But if we take to God consciousness by the simple method, by chanting the holy names of the Lord, then automatically we develop all the godly qualities. As soon as we come to the platform of chanting pure Hare Krishna mantra without any offense, we immediately enhanced our love for God. This process of chanting is the sublime method of reviving our God consciousness. The process of chanting also helps us control our flickering mind. The mind is very difficult to control. One who has no control of the mind engages in sinful activities. The only process to tame the urges of the mind is to engage it in the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada's books, lectures, conversations and letters offer a comprehensive presentation of this essential subject as seen in the Vinicote's Chanting Hare Krishna category. An introduction from his books is given below in the following 16 quotes. Quotes from Srila Prabhupada's books. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige and ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. A Vaishnava should not try to minimize anyone else's position. It is better to remain humble and meek and chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Armad Bh Gavatam 6.17. 10. Whether one chants OK Ra or addresses the Lord as K, the meaning is the same, but our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended that in this age one chant the Hare Krishna mantra, Hare and Ma Eva Kavalam, CC Adi 17.21. Although there is no difference between Hare Krishna and the Vedic mantras beginning with OK Ra, our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the leader of the spiritual movement for this age, has recommended that one chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare 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 Arma, Hare Arma, Arma Arma, Hare Hare. Armad Bh Gavatam 6.5. 26. No one can be more pure than devotees. Anyone who once utters the name of Viyu immediately becomes purified, inside and outside. Yasmarat Puar KKM. Since a devotee constantly chants the Hare Krishna mantra, no contamination of the material world can touch him. He is, therefore, actually purified. Musai Heuchi Heuyadi Kabage. It is said that even a cobbler or person born in the family of a cobbler can be elevated to the position of a Brahma Uchi if he takes to Kaya consciousness. Any person who is purely Kaya conscious and who engages in chanting the Hare Krishna mantra is the purest in the whole universe. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.12. 37. In the human form of life the highest achievement is to attain the platform of love of Godhead. Lord Chaitanya did not invent a system of religion, as people sometimes assume. Religious systems are meant to show the existence of God, who is then generally approached as the cosmic order supplier. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's transcendental mission is to distribute love of Godhead to everyone. Anyone who accepts God as the Supreme can take to the process of chanting Hare Krishna and become a lover of God. Therefore Lord Chaitanya is the most magnanimous. This munificent broadcasting of devotional service is possible only for K himself. Chaitanya Karatam Ta, DLL 4.41. Meditation should be carried on with the chanting of a mantra. Chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra is the easiest process of meditation in this age. As soon as one chants the Hare Krishna mantra, he sees the forms of Ka, Arma and their energies, and that is the perfect stage of trance. One should not artificially try to see the form of the Lord while chanting Hare Krishna, but when the chanting is performed offenselessly the Lord will automatically reveal himself to the view of the chanter. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.8. 53. In our Kaya consciousness movement, the tactic of dressing oneself like an ordinary karm is necessary because everyone in the demoniac kingdom is against the Vaishnava teachings. Kaya consciousness is not at all to the liking of the demons of the present age. As soon as they see a Vaishnava dressed in saffron garments with beads on his neck and tilaka on his forehead, they are immediately irritated. They criticize the Vaishnavas by sarcastically saying Hare Krishna, and some people also chant Hare Krishna sincerely. Armad Bh Gavatam 7.5. 7. At the time of death one is certainly bewildered because his bodily functions are in disorder. At that time, even one who throughout his life has practiced chanting the holy name of the Lord may not be able to chant the Hare Krishna mantra very distinctly. Nevertheless, such a person receives all the benefits of chanting the holy name. While the body is fit therefore, why should we not chant the holy name of the Lord loudly and distinctly? If one does so, it is quite possible that even at the time of death he will be properly able to chant the holy name of the Lord with love and faith. Armad Bh Gavatam 6.2. 49. If a person does not cry or exhibit bodily changes after chanting the holy name of God without offense, it is to be understood that he is hard-hearted and that therefore his heart does not change even after he chants the holy name of God. Hare Ka. These bodily changes can take place due to ecstasy when we offenselessly chant the holy names of God. Hare Ka, Hare Ka, Ka, Hare 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 Arma, Hare Arma, Arma Arma, Hare Hare. Armad Bh Gavatam 3.15. 25. By chanting the Hare Ka mantra, one immediately concentrates on the sound vibration and thinks of the lotus feet of the Lord, and very quickly one is elevated to the position of Samdhi, or trance. If one goes on chanting the holy names of the Lord, which are not different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, naturally his mind becomes absorbed in thought of the Lord. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.8. 44. By inducing the offenders to chant the Hare Ka mantra, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exemplified the success of the Kaya consciousness movement. We should follow very respectfully in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya, and there is no doubt that we shall be successful in our attempts. Chaitanya Karitam Ta, DLL 7.150. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. Therefore, if we simply place ourselves at the lotus feet of Kaya by taking to Kaya consciousness and keeping always in touch with him by chanting the Hare Ka mantra, we need not take much trouble in arranging to return to the spiritual world. By the mercy of our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is very easy. Armad Bh Gavatam 7.15. 53. The simplest method for this is recommended herein by our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We should constantly chant the holy names of the Lord, the Hare Ka mantra. Following in the footsteps of our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Kaya consciousness movement is recommending this process all over the world. We are saying, chant the Hare Ka mantra, be freed from all the complexities of life, and realize Ka, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Engage in his devotional service and perfect your life so that you can return home, back to Godhead. Chaitanya Karitam Ta, Madhya LL 25.198. In the beginning, when one is initiated into the chanting of the Hare Ka mantra, there are naturally many offenses. Therefore the devotee should very carefully try to avoid these offenses and chant purely. This does not mean that the Hare Ka mantra is sometimes pure and sometimes impure. Rather, the chanter is impure due to material contamination. He has to purify himself so that the holy names will be perfectly effective. Chaitanya Karitam Ta, Madhya LL 25.199. In the material world, if one engages in chanting a material name, he will feel tired after chanting a few times. However, one can chant the Hare Ka mantra all day and night and never feel tired. As chanting is increased, it will come out new and fresh. RLAR Pagasvam said that if he could somehow get millions of ears and tongues, then he could relish spiritual bliss by chanting the Hare Ka mantra. Armad Bh Gavatam 4.30. 20. Practicing the yoga system of exercise and breath control is very difficult for a person in this age, and therefore Lord Chaitanya recommended Kairatanya Sadhari. CC Adi 17.31. One should always chant the holy name of the Supreme Lord, Ka, because Ka is the most suitable name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The name Ka and the Supreme Person Ka are non-different. Therefore, if one concentrates his mind on hearing and chanting Hare Ka, the same result is achieved. Armad Bh Gavatam 3.28. 9. Many fools, not knowing the transcendental nature of the Hare Ka mantra, sometimes impede our loudly chanting this mantra, yet one who is actually advanced in the fulfillment of chanting the Hare Ka mantra induces others to chant also. Kayad Sakavir Yagasvam explains, Kayakti Vinnahti Rapravartana. Unless one receives special power of attorney from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he cannot preach the glories of the Hare Ka mantra. Chaitanya Karitam Ta, DLL 7.83.